Bitcoin right now is at an extremely important make or break it moment. As you can see the resistance right in front of you, and the question of course is, are we going to break it? But if we do, I'm expecting some massive gains to follow, which is why I already bought myself a nice little gains type of light. I think everybody should get themselves a rocket, because what else are you gonna do with all the money you make from all this crypto stuff? Having said that, I'm not joking. Pretty quickly after Bitcoin saw its massive dip, and hopefully every single one of you was buying, we faced a critical resistance, which turned out to be the support from earlier that day, just yesterday. And right now, over the past couple of hours, after initially getting rejected at our more known Bitcoin buying level at 43.2 thousand, we actually came over it, but right now are facing some new resistance at yet again this similar level, forming some sort of double top. Like I stated earlier, since tomorrow we can get ourselves the Bitcoin spot ETF's decisions, and that window is open all the way towards the 10th, we're expecting some extremely high volatility in the very near term here. And by the way, guys, if you've not done it yet, make sure you press that like button. But that's why I've stated which exact levels I'm buying at. If right now we come all the way back down towards the previous levels that we were buying at, funny enough, will be buying again. I will be opening long positions that are going to last me a very good while. Similarly, if we break down even further, I am again looking to open some long positions at the exact same level we opened it at yesterday, which could be some juicy gains yet again. And I often hear people say, okay, so where should I... The story is very simple. I open right here with, let's say, 1 unit, and I'd open right here with, let's say, 1.5 or perhaps 2 or perhaps slightly more units, depending on how heavy the move was and how much time I have to prepare. I always have limit orders open, ladies and gentlemen, at every single one of the price targets you see. So even right now, I have a few limit orders right around this $42.2 thousand level, some slightly above, some slightly below. It's basically a limit that is trailing, and the reason I do that is because you never know which exact price is going to be hit, and so I'm more bottom heavy, but I have a couple of orders slightly above for in case the price just wicks down but stops, as you can see right here, slightly above the point at which you'd like to buy in at. And that happens very often as we're all looking at the same levels, so you want to prepare by selling slightly before and buying slightly above those crucial levels that everybody's watching. We, however, on the short term are also noticing a rising wedge, which isn't necessarily the positive, as these usually actually break down. But then again, since our strategy is to basically just keep going long, it doesn't really matter too much, because ultimately things are so volatile right now because we're around the Bitcoin spot ETFs that I'm thinking, man, so many people are getting trapped right now into selling, even though a lot of the downwards pressure is just from the basis that Bitcoin spot ETFs might be rejected. But that's some report that came out from Matrix Port. Otherwise, every single thing is pointing us towards just approvals. I still think it's going to get approved. And yes, yesterday a lot of money was shaken out, but there's a very positive thing that comes with the territory of massive shakeouts. It's that funding rates go back to more, I'd say, normal levels. Interestingly enough, you even have some negative funding rates on some exchanges, and that points out to cheap borrowing or cheap capital, which means more people right now have the ability to go long. More institutions are interested in going long, as right now it's significantly cheaper to do so. And what's interesting as well is to see the interesting liquidation events that would occur if Bitcoin right now were to go back below 42,000. That is actually really interesting. You see this dip right there? It acts as a cornerstone for the Bitcoin price right now. If we do get below 41.8 thousand, I'm expecting a pretty quick move here on the short term. Then again, on a slightly longer term, it's not really that noticeable. There's, matter of fact, not really any liquidations close by, since obviously this week right here that we saw yesterday took nearly everything out. And so what we've basically witnessed here is a little reset. And that's ultimately what it was also wanted, most likely. Anyway, I think most things are pointing towards the fact that ETFs are here within a few days. If you really have been catching yourself up on the news, you'd know that everybody's pointing towards the fact that things are being filed. Grayscale filed registration of securities with the SEC for its spot Bitcoin ETF. Just yesterday, $4.5 trillion asset manager Fidelity filed registration of securities with the SEC for its spot Bitcoin ETF. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's any way this is not going to happen in the near future. Yesterday as well, Goldman Sachs is in talks to become an authorized participant for BlackRock's and Grayscale's spot Bitcoin ETF. I don't know what else to tell you. The SEC scheduled meetings today with the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, and CBOE to finalize comments on spot Bitcoin ETFs. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to happen, and I'd say it's very exciting stuff. Hopefully you're ready. Don't get faked out by these bears trying to shake you out before the major news hits. Some said it's a major buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. It doesn't seem likely because of the previous Cointelegraph report that made prices jump so much that I'm expecting it to happen yet again. That's why I only think about long positions. I am not thinking about shorting at all. Matter of fact, right now we're breaking through ever so slightly. I still am expecting a little bit of a hurdle here. And again, we did actually get close to the level twice over the next few hours or last few hours. Next major resistance, I don't think is going to be at 43.8, but I think might be all the way back up here at 44.2000, our previous important resistance levels. But all I can say about that is, let us see. I'm only long. 𝗕𝗫𝗀. And hopefully you guys are making juicy money. If you want to claim yourself a couple tens of thousands, I think $30,000 worth of free trading bonuses, you can check the link down below for Bybit. And of course, you can also get a free $500 Bitcoin, Solana, Bonk, XRP, or whatever trade in addition to that with the link down below. And if you don't use the link down below, you only get a $400 bonus, so not $30,000, and you don't get this free trade. So check out the link down below, and I'll see you guys later in another crypto video. Make sure you press those like buttons every single time you're watching, and that's about it.